Hey guys, Puppet Kicker. We're about to work on the clutch some more. So let's get straight to it. I've realized we've got a YouTuber. He told me about something that was wrong, and he's right. So I'm gonna nip it in the butt before I even try to test run this thing. I'll post his name probably right there, or right here somewhere. Anyhow, thank you, man, for your comment, because it's going to help me out a lot. Now I've got to get back to the drawing board, but I think I got an idea. Let me show you here. Whenever this motor is spinning, it's making this gearbox spin this way right here. Okay, that means this belt's gonna be tight down here whenever it's got pressure on it, because that motor's gonna be pulling on the bottom end. So that's the reason why my clutch is bouncing. So I've got my clutch, although it looks great and all fancy and whatnot, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna do nothing. My clutch has to be on top, pushing the belt down. You know, pushing the belt down right there. That's where it's going to get the friction and grab a hold. So, let me get this clutch back off of here and see if we can't flip it around and make it work to our advantage. Yeah, let's do this. Alright guys, I got that off of there, and I've made another one, hauled it down, just cut a piece of that flat stock again and drilled another hole at the end. I'm thinking this is how it's going to sit. It'll sit on there like that right there. And then I'm going to come off of this plate where I had the first one mounted right here. It's hard to do this one-handed, but it'll come off right here. I'll have another piece coming up at an angle a little bit. I'll have a hole drilled through this in the middle. And that way, right here where my pinky is, I'll have a hole right there. That way, that could be my pivoting point. And this may also help me out, because I think I'm going to go ahead and run the clutch off of the right pedal, and I'm going to put a hand throttle on here. So I'll be able to run me a clutch straight down there. The piece of metal that I'm going to use for right here to come up for my brace for the pivoting part is the old clutch piece. I've got it in my chop saw already. I'm just going to cut it off right there, as you can see, and I'll be able to use that straight piece. It's already got the holes and everything drilled in it, so that'll play out in my favor. So let's get this thing cut. Gonna be the new design. I'll weld this. Of course, I'll take my gas tank off first, and then I'll spot weld this and get this all lined up out to here, and then weld it solid to where it's not going to move down here. And then this is going to be the pivoting action. After I move it back, see, it'll clear that gas tank. But yeah, that's where I'm wanting her. I think it'll work perfect. So let's get this gas tank removed so we can get the welder set up, and we'll tack weld that. Alright guys, I got this welded on there. Not the prettiest weld, but good thick weld. It'll hold. Sorry about the wind today, but I'm not complaining because it feels pretty good. Alright, now what I'm going to do, let me take this ground off of here. If you'll notice, this is going to be my clutch, and that's how it's going to pivot. Now what I've got to do is I'm going to weld a tab on the bottom of this clutch arm coming down so I can hook my spring up to it and run it down over to here. Alright guys, check that out. Not a bad looking weld. I've got my clutch mounted back on here. And as you can tell, I've got the spring on there. And I wanted to pull down some tension. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this bolt and I'm going to weld it down here. And what that'll do is I can hook that up on there. I'll put a couple of nuts, you know, and washers in between it and tighten down on the spring, and that'll help me get some tension on there. Alright guys, actually while I was off camera, I went ahead and tipped this baby up on the side and got the hole underneath of this bolt, and got the hole underneath of this pivoting arm for this clutch. So now what we'll do is stretch that down there. Well, cut that off. Stretch it down there, put another washer. Here is where the throttle rod is, right here. Whenever you mash the throttle, you know, it moves. And that looks like it's going to be plenty enough travel for that clutch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cable and I'll loop it around this bolt right here, and then I'll take my little crimp piece right here and I'm going to crimp it on there, that way it'll hold on there, and then I'll run my cable back there. So let's get this part right here done and we'll go to the back and I'll show you that. I think I've got this clutch thing figured out. As you can tell, it's going to be the right pedal, because I was also thinking the same thing, and then again someone on YouTube mentioned also the same thing. If I put a shifter handle up there, man, I ain't going to have no hands free to be able to steer. So this is the right pedal, and as you can see, whenever I mash that, it's going to pull that cable. Alright, and what I'm going to do back here with this cable is, I've already put a caster on here. I'm going to weld a piece of metal from the frame here to right here. Alright, and then I'll have this caster either bolted or welded, one of the two, right here on top of that piece of metal that I'm going to weld. Alright, and then that cable is going to shoot up to my arm right here. I'll weld me a washer on the end of it and crimp it the same way I did that, because that seemed to work pretty good. Here's what we got. We got that cable connected right there to the old throttle cable. It runs along. Let me move my shirt out of the way. Runs along through there. Comes up through that caster. Comes up to that washer that I've got welded right there. Whenever I mash on the pedal now, as you can see, works perfectly. Alright guys, so that's it on the clutch. The clutch is done. It'll work just perfect, no problems, works nice and smoothly. Until next time, thank you for watching. The next update, we're going to tackle that chain and that sprocket. Try to get that thing situated. So yeah, God bless you.